Good morning, everyone. I am here to do another craft. This time we're going to be making faux cupcakes. This is one that I've made this morning and it's already dry. So I'm going to show you how to make this, and once we get done making this one, I will show you how to frost it. So I'm going to turn the camera down and let's get to making cupcakes. Okay, so to make this cupcake part, what we need is we need some baking cups, some spackle, some tape, some foil, and some newspaper. So what I do first is I take a piece of newspaper and I just crumble it up. I get it to like as round as I can. I take my little cups. Let's do a different color this time. Let's do pink. Let's do white. Okay. So you crumble up the newspaper and you want to make it sure that it's going to stick in there, so that should be enough paper, but I want to get it like really crumbled. So fit right in there, just like that. So then I take some tape, because you don't want the newspaper to come apart. So I take a little bit of tape. And I just kind of secure it down. I'm sure you can use like Scotch tape, but I don't have any on hand, so I'm just using whatever tape I could find. I'm going to do one more. Set that aside. And we're going to do like right here, because I don't want that bump to be out there. And then it should fit perfectly right in there. Okay, so then you take your foil and you just cover it. See that it fits right in there, and there's that part of it. So what I also did with this is I hot glued this around so you didn't lose the shape of the cupcake baking cup. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, my hot glue gun is ready. So what I did was I just picked it up and I went around, set it in there, and just kind of held it. You just kind of go around and hold it. Sorry, my hands are a little shaky. It's kind of cold out here. Just kind of held it on the top. This is just so because you want to make sure that your cake part of it stays in here. This takes a few seconds. Put a little bit right here. Okay, So now you have this part. So the next thing you do is you take some spackle. That's what I want to show you. Just regular spackle. Comes in white. And what I did is I added some of this Waverly chocolate. And I also added a little bit of burnt umber just to make it a little bit darker. And I placed it in this container. I took one of my stir spoons and you just stir it. I'm going to make sure that all of that paint gets in there. And this is what it looks like when it's all stirred. So then what you do with this, get that out of my way, is you just start putting your chocolate spackle on. You just want to cover all of your foil. These are the little spoons that I got with my resin kit, but you could probably just use a regular butter knife that you're not going to use for anything else. Just whatever you have handy that will help you spread this on here. And you want to kind of make it drip down so you don't see any foil. But if you see a little bit of foil, that's okay because we're going to frost this once this part dries. A little bit more. Here. Get that down in there. What I'm going to do with these once I am done is I'm going to put a little magnet on the side, so if you put it right here you can hang it on the fridge like that. Just a cute little refrigerator magnet. The good thing about this is it's super lightweight because the only thing that you're using is paper and foil. So I'm going to try to get this as smooth as I can because this isn't the frosting part, this is just the cake part. I want to cover it, but I don't want to waste any of this spackle so I can make more. So I would think one of these little jars of spackle, you could probably make 5 of these and you get the spackling at the dollar store. These make super cute gifts. You can do them in any design that you want to do them in. You can do them for Easter, you know, Valentine's Day, Christmas, I mean, whatever you could think of, even a birthday. But that's how you do that. And yeah, if you do it for a birthday, you can always get these little cheap candles and stick the candle in after it's frosted. I thought that would be cute too, sorry. Okay, so I got everything covered. So I'm going to wipe this off. And these are super easy to use. That's why I like these plastic ones, because I just run them under, you know, some water and they're clean. So you're going to set this one aside. The one that I did here, it took about 20 minutes for this to dry enough that I can actually start frosting it. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to get my frosting out and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and for the frosting part of it, I went to the dollar store and I picked up one of these little kits. So then what I did with this little bucket of spackle is I added this pink, and then I wanted it to have a little shine, so I added some metallic, almost like a fuchsia. What I also recommend is, because this is really thick, when you use these little bags, I have this little container that has water in it. So I'm just going to add a couple drops of water at a time, because you don't want it too thin but you don't want it too thick. Otherwise, because these dollar store cake decorating things, the bag will come off of here if you have to squeeze too hard to get your frosting out. So I'm going to add a couple more drops of water. Stir it in really good. It's still a little too thick, so I'm going to add some more. And adding the water is not going to hurt the spackle at all. But like I said, you don't want to over add water. You just want to add your water and then mix it really well. Let's see, that's still a little too thick. So we're going to add some more. That was 2 dropfuls, and I did about 3 before that. Okay, so another tip is I've practiced in this bag. So if you don't want, like if you have leftover frosting and you don't want it to dry, you just remove the decorative cap off of it. You put the edge of the bag over it so that it covers, and you just kind of pop that top back on. That way it won't let anything in here dry out. So we're going to put our tip on. And we're going to screw the cap on. Okay, and then you want to fold your bag down. I know this part is messy because, like I said, I've practiced with this morning. You kind of want to make sure that it's open enough that you can get your fake frosting down in there. You can use papers on your surface, but honestly this stuff, it's not that hard to clean up. You just wipe it away with a wet paper towel and you're good to go. So you want to squish that in there. Get a nice in there. And if you want to make sure that it's smushed down, you just bring your bag back up on the sides. And see, I see it's kind of messy. And you just take your fingers and work that down to the bottom. I'm going to add just a little bit more because I want to make sure that there is enough in here to frost my cupcake. And the other good thing about the spackle is if you do have a whole lot in there and you don't want to use the same color, you can always go in with your butter knife, spoon, whatever that you're not going to reuse, that you're only using for crafts, and scrape it right out. Okay, make sure that the bag part is almost at the top because, like I said, you don't want that part coming off. And then you just start turning it. You check to see the flow, which the flow is really good. I'm going to add just a little bit more just to make sure that there's enough to do the whole top of this cupcake. I'm just going to stick that in there, scrape it off. Might as well add the whole thing. Open my bag up. Scrape that off. Once again, use my fingers to pull it, make it go down. I'm going to set this aside. Try to save every little bit of this. Even though it's only $1, why waste it? Scrape it off of there. These little tools come in handy, the plastic ones, because they're really easy to clean off. So I'm going to set that aside, move that over here. I have my damp paper towel. I'm just going to get some of this mess out of the way. As you can see, your fingers do get dirty, but soap and water, you're good to go. Okay, so there's your little cupcake. So make sure, like I said, that all of your frosting is down towards the bottom. And what you're going to do is at the top, you're just going to twist. I'm right-handed, so it's easier for me to do it this way. So you just keep twisting, and you'll see it start coming out at the end. Sorry about that. Okay. So like I said, you just twist, and you'll see it starting to come out. You just go around. I just kind of flatten it down with my fingers. Make sure everything's getting connected. Push some more of that down. Twist it to get it to go down to the bottom. I am not a cake decorator. So I'm just going to pick it up. See how that's sliding off of there? I'm going to have to find a better way to do that part of it. This certainly takes practice to do this. I'm almost wondering if you spray it with a little bit of water, if that would help. This is my first time making this. I love trying new things, like I tell you guys all the time. I thought this was really cute. So I figured, well, why not give it a shot? Like that. Fix this right here on the side. Make sure there's some in there. Try to clean this up a little. Okay, I'm going to go around this part right here. As you can see, I messed it up a little, but that's okay because that could be the side that I put the magnet on, and you won't see it. I'm trying to make it just a little bit more decorative looking right in here. Okay, so I also want to add some sprinkles to this. So I'm just going to kind of do this. I'm actually wondering if you spray this with a little bit of water, if that would help. Sorry about that again. Keep getting interrupted, but anyway, I'm going to add a little bit of sprinkles onto this. I'm almost wondering if you spray it with a little bit of water, if that would help. Maybe I'll put some sprinkles in my hand and see if it's easier to place it that way. You want to kind of push them down because you want to make sure that when the spackle dries, that those little sprinkles stay. Put a little too much in my hand. And I'm not using these sprinkles for anything else but this idea. So if I get them back in there, that's okay. Set my little cupcake on there, and I'm going to add some of this glitter. It's just extra fine glitter. Just going to tap it on there just to give it a little bit of color to it. I'm hoping I get better at doing this because I think this is a really cute idea. Okay, and there's how it turned out. Like I said, this part that I made a mistake on, I'm going to be adding a magnet to that. But there it is. Not bad for my first one, I would say. But like I always say, this is the fun part about art, is you learn as you go. And I will show you the magnet that I'm going to be using. I bought these little tiny magnets, and there's a ton of them in there. I bought them for the rounds that I paint. So for this one, I'm going to add a magnet. So I will be right back with that. Okay, so I've decided that this is the better part of my cupcake. This side got a little smashed. So what I did was I added a little dab of hot glue right there. Pushed my magnet on there, held on to it for a second. And that's the way it will look when it's sitting on the fridge. Okay, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of tips that I've learned from this project. As I said, this is the first time that I've ever made a faux cupcake. So I thought I would take you guys along with the experiment and see how it came out. And this is how it came out. The little sprinkles. I think it is super cute. You can see the little chocolate cupcake, or the little cake part underneath there, so I think that did turn out pretty cute. What I have learned as far as the frosting goes, I think I would have added just a little bit more water. That way it would have flown better, yeah, out of the thing. See how it kind of looks a little choppy. And then I tried to, of course, fix it so that's what it looks like close up. But yes, I would have added just a little bit more water to this. Now, what I'm going to do with this when it dries, and I will show you when I come back, I'm going to let this sit for about 20 minutes to see how hard it gets. What I want to do with this to preserve it is I am going to put some spray acrylic sealant on it and see if that, pops out, a little bit more of the glitter, a little bit more of the shine, but also, like I said, protects it. And then that way, if these little sprinkles are not embedded into that because I was afraid to touch them. Will that protect them from falling off? So I will be back in about 20 minutes to show you guys how I'm going to spray this, and we will be taking that outside. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're right outside the garage, and I'm going to go ahead and use, I guess I should put this down. I'm going to use this satin finish acrylic spray, obviously in clear. Let's see if I can do this while I'm holding this. I'm going to turn it around. As you can see, I put a little piece of tape on the magnet so the spray doesn't get on that. Okay, I'm going to put the camera, or I'm going to, pause this so I can add one more coat, and then I will show you what it looks like. Okay, hopefully you can see this, but it came out a lot shinier, even made the frosting look a little bit smoother. So we're looking at the side that would actually be sticking onto the fridge. So there you go, my version of a faux cupcake. Hope you guys enjoyed my process. It's only going to get better. See you in the next video.